In this video, we're going to be taking a second look at our El Tacos design. So the other day we posted a video of a design of the day that we posted called El Tacos and wanted to share a concept with you that we thought was pretty exciting. And that video didn't have any audio, so you didn't know exactly what we were doing. But this video, we're going to show you another example using that El Tacos design of the day. So what started it all was this logo right here. This was sent to me by a customer, and I've done several of these in the past where we have overlapping varsity letters for cheer teams and schools and other organizations. I've done quite a few of these, and this was my result that we did here with Easy Stone. So you can see it looks really nice. Customer was happy with that conversion. But that took me probably almost a half an hour to do here inside Easy Stone. And so I thought, well, what if we could create something where we could do something very similar, but just in a matter of a few minutes? And that's what really got me to thinking. So what we did here, let me go ahead and just import a design here. So what we did was, first of all, the first step was creating these letters in a very specific way. And we're actually going to have a separate video on actually how we used Easy Stone to create these letters, because it's a very straightforward process. But now that we have the letters here, I'm going to go ahead and delete the color separations. And then we'll go ahead and get rid of the letters that we're not going to use for this demonstration. So we're not using T and A and the O here. Now watch how quick and easy this is once we have our letters in place. And then of course the secret to El Tacos as well. So here we go. So we just take our letter S and we're just going to move it over into position here and overlap it however you want to. It doesn't really matter. What I usually do is I come in tight here, grab one of these outline stones and snap it to the center of one of the other stones in the letter C. Now, you can see right here, there is some overlapping going on here. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to back out, select the whole design, come in here to Easy Stone and click on that check spacing feature. Very, very nice feature to have. Not all Rhinestone software has that feature. So now all the directly overlapping stones have been eliminated. Now, if we look closely, there's still some overlapping stones here. You can see that there and down here. There's a few. But otherwise, there's no other overlapping stones. So there's one right there at the intersection, but we'll fix that up after the fact. So here's what we did. We created a feature here. Now this is in the upcoming Easy Stone 3. Probably is going to be released right at the end of January. So only a couple weeks out. But we have a function over here in our specialty tab called reshape. And anytime I come across something that I think I'm going to do again and again and again, I say, okay, I'll just make a function so that the next time I need to do that, I won't have to do all the steps. So let me show you the Corel Draw way and then the Easy Stone way. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to type out the letters S and C. We're going to go ahead and we're going to choose, let's find our EST. I'm going to find our El Taco font, which is right there. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And then we're going to come up to the Arrange menu and choose Break Artistic Text. And so that will separate each letter. Okay? We're going to go ahead and convert those letters to curves. You can see right now we have text, so Control Q, convert to curves. And then first thing I'm going to show you is the kind of manual approach to Corel Draw. So if you don't have Easy Stone, you can download our design of the day and you can still follow along with this demonstration. You don't have to use Easy Stone. If you're not using Corel Draw and you're using some other type of Rhinestone software, my guess is they'll have a similar function, similar ability in it. But what we're going to do is just take our letter S here and we're going to pick it up from one corner, the edge, wherever. So let's just pick it up from this edge and drag it right to the edge of that circle. The snapping capabilities here in CorelDRAW are really quite nice. So then we're going to take this control handle and bring it right on over to the center of a circle over here. See where it says center, snap? And then down here, same thing. Grab this control handle, pull it down, snap it to the center. And then we didn't snap to the center of a circle over here. So we're going to grab this control handle and snap it right to the center point. And then finally, we need to do the same thing up top here. So let's pull it down, grab that control handle, and snap it right to the center. Now when we do that, because of the way we designed this particular font, you can see that the stones and the outline line up spot on perfect. And that is really, really nice feature. So now that that's taken care of, now what we can do is we can come in here and grab our letter C here. So we'll just grab a piece from the top right, hold our shift key down, grab a piece from the bottom left, and click on that reshape feature. There's the reshape. Then we can go ahead and take our letter C here, hold our shift key down and click on reshape. Automatically resizes it and positions it perfectly because EasyStone makes all those necessary calculations. So easy to do in CorelDRAW, even easier to do with EasyStone. So now that we have the two letters, now we can go ahead and weld those two letters together, and then I'm just going to give them an outline color with no fill, just because I feel like doing that. And then we're going to come over here to the Stone Fill tab, and we're going to choose here 10. Let's go ahead and enter 10. We'll do one offset. If I hold my shift key, it'll offset to the outside. You can see that there. And I'll go ahead and select that, and then we'll go ahead and offset it one more time. So we're going to do this time, let's go ahead and offset it 4. Again, 1 to the outside, hold our shift key, and now we've offset it twice. So now this version here we don't even need. Let's just discard that. Now we can double click on our line, and we're going to do a little bit of editing here with our shape edit tool. So we're just going to delete the islands here, and anywhere these are just straight lines, and anywhere there's a node in between the start and end node, we're just going to go through and delete. There won't be many of them, but there's one there. We're going to delete the islands, delete that intermediate node, and I think that takes care of everything. So now we're going to add stones to the outside. So we just select all the nodes, come over here to the editing tab, break at nodes. Then we'll come here to the stone tab, we'll switch over to crystal, we'll choose add stones, and all the stones have been added. Same thing, same process, double click on the other outline, editing, break at nodes, stone, add stones. Very, very simple. Now, we do have these lines, which are stone paths, that we need to discard. So go over here to the selection tab, delete stone paths. We'll get rid of all of our stone paths. You can see now we have no stone paths again. So that's nice. Let's just go ahead and add a weed box. Go to the miscellaneous tab and choose add weed box. Very quickly this design is coming together, isn't it? We're going to right click on our weed box and lock it down so I can't accidentally move it. And then we have to fine tune. And this is where all the work is really, because really the design is 95% done. So you can see here there's a weird kind of spacing happening here. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to take a stone, right click on it to make a duplicate, and hit Shift A. You can see now we have really too many stones here. So tell you what we'll do, we're going to back out. Let me undo that a couple of times. Let me back out here, and let's do a check spacing on the whole thing again. That will take care of any overlapping stones for us. Stones that are sitting right on top of one another that we can't see. Now we'll add a duplicate stone here. Shift A. Small shift there, that looks perfectly fine. See right here, we have two overlapping, we'll just pull it down, give us the spacing we want. Then we'll respace these stones, Shift A. That takes care of that. Now here, we're just going to have to pull these stones over. Real simple. I'm just zooming in and out with my mouse. And then once I have those in place, then what we're going to do is just select those going across, and Shift P will space stones in a horizontal position. Now you can see that the spacing does get a little tight, and I don't worry about that too much. If you're only doing a small area, you don't want that tight of spacing throughout the entire template. That could be problematic. But a couple of rows of stones here. We'll just be careful when we go to peel off our template, that we just real careful that we don't rip our template. So that takes care of that down there. And then up here, we have to do basically the same thing. Just pull that stone over so it's not touching. Pull this one over. I'm holding my Shift key so I can strain perfectly to a horizontal position. And then I'll select all these intermediate stones. So I'm just holding on my Shift key and clicking on each one in Shift P. And that will space those horizontally. Shift P. And Shift P. So you can see, not a big deal at all to take care of that situation. Now we do have a similar situation here where we're going to add a stone. Select all of these. Shift A to get our spacing that way. That looks good. Now there is a bit of an issue here at this intersection. How do we want to handle this? And there's a variety of ways that we could handle it. I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to actually use another one of our tools. This gives me an opportunity to show you a practical use of the tool, but it'll actually make it easier for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to select two objects that are at an angle. If I hit Shift, Guide at Angle here, you're going to see there's a guideline that's placed for me there. Then I'm going to take this stone and do Center Horizontal, and now I have a place to snap to. I'm going to turn on Snap to Guidelines, and so now I can come in here, I can grab the stone and snap it right to the intersection. And I can take this and I'll just pull it over, and actually what I'm going to do here is just take all of these and we'll do that Shift P function. Shift P, and that will space all those perfectly apart. And then the same thing here, we need to give us a little bit of room there, and then we'll take these two stones, align them to the left, and then we'll Shift P for spacing there. One more, Shift P. There we go. So now we have that spacing going across. Now if we wanted to, we could check to see if we could fit another stone in there, which I don't think we can without it being super, super tight, so we won't do that. So again, we'll just select all those, Shift P. Alright, so that takes care of that. And I think that looks fine. Now we could have, if we wanted to, and sometimes, you look at something and you say, hey, you know what, we should do it differently. What if we were to have these two lines of stones? Let's just do that. Let's try that and see what happens. So instead what we're going to do is these two lines of stones are going to go all the way through, like so. We're going to take this stone, right, and we're going to copy, and then we're going to take all of these, and we're going to space them. So take all of these, not that one, and we're going to hit Shift P to space those stones out there. And I think I'm going to delete one here because that's really tight. So we'll delete that one, and we'll hit Shift P on that. And then we'll fix them at going at the angle. So what we need to do is we're going to take this guide and copy it. So now we have something to go off of. And this, I'm going to go horizontal here, because this really should have been right here. Alright, so now I'm going to take this and hit Shift P. There we go. And then we'll take this and we'll just move it up. Move it up wherever we want to, right along the edge of that guideline. Which poses another problem in that we're going to just delete one stone there. Selecting objects on an angle is not very easily done here in CorelDRAW. So we created a function here on our selections tab. If we hold our shift key down and click on create selection, it will actually make a selection of those stones at an angle, and then we'll choose our editing tab and choose respace, and it'll kind of space those stones out again. And then we need to do the same thing down here. So we select the first stone and the last stone, go to our selections tab, shift create selection. That creates our selection, and then we'll go to our editing tab and choose respace, and it'll respace those stones on an angle. So yes, I think that looks better than what we did the first time around. But again, it's really just a matter of personal preference, what we want to do there. So let's go ahead and clear out all of our guidelines. Now there is a little bit of work to do here as well, and if we understand what we want to do here, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete two of these rows here that are in the way, and we'll do the same thing down here. Let's go ahead and delete those two. This stone here we're going to move, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to do L to line those up to the left, and these stones going horizontally, we're going to line those up too. So we're going to select both of those, B for bottom, and then I can select these and shift A, space them vertically. So these are kind of anchors. See how these two don't line up? So we're going to line those up just using the CorelDRAW shortcuts. And then we'll take the intermediate stones here. We'll just shift A. Looks like we are missing one there. So we'll grab it, shift A again. And now you can see they have nice spacing there. And then up here we'll do the same thing. We're going to select that, L, take all these stones, shift A. Now, I want to actually slide this over so it's like centered in between the C here. So what we're going to do is just going to grab that whole row of stones like that, and let's just move it over. Something like that. Make sure it's perfectly horizontal. And I think that looks a lot better. Now we do have some overlapping stones because of that small change, so we'll come in here back to our editing tab, and we'll choose that check spacing feature for overlapping stones. And there is our design, and I really think it looks good. What we'll do is we'll use that stone use report under the miscellaneous tab. Tells us that the design is 7.5 by 8 3/4. There's 422 stones. We'll go ahead and choose the add dimensions, and there is our dimensions. And then finally, just what I usually do is I usually will duplicate the design. So let's unlock the weed box. So I will usually duplicate this design just like so, and then on the duplicate I'm going to go ahead and just position that in place. Then on the duplicate, I will go ahead and simulate the stones for the actual proof to the customer. So we'll go with the stone, choose the simulate function. There's 1,466 stones in this design. So it does take a few seconds to simulate it, because all it's doing is replacing each stone with an actual simulated stone. And there it is. So now you can see, looks really good. Now it looks like some of these stones, for some reason, oh, I know why. Maybe, let's take a look at that stone. What is that stone? Oh yes, I know what the deal is there. These stones here weren't named stones as it relates to Easy Stone. So you can see those stones did not simulate properly. And that's because we imported an EPS file. All of our stones that we created, when we created the stones for the outline, you'll notice they all have an actual name to them, whereas these stones are just circles. They're just called curve, 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 curve. So, but we can fix that. That's easy enough to fix. So all we have to do is go into our macro manager, And let's minimize a couple of these things here. And see, every time we come across something, we just create a solution for it. And so we had a lot of our customers purchasing designs from us in our Design of the Day, and also customers that have purchased designs from other companies that wanted to be able to simulate them, and they don't have EasyStone. So we created this Easy Prep utility where we just go ahead and choose the Process by Color option, and it will analyze everything that we have selected and give us a preview of what it looks like. And then we can define a color for it. So let's say the school colors are light cyan, and we'll go ahead and choose the Process by Color. And then we are going to light topaz. See? So make that small little change there, and then we can come in and we can go ahead and we'll go back to our Easy Prep, and we can choose Simulate from here as well. Same simulate function that is in EasyStone. We can find it right here in Easy Prep. And there we go. So you can see, really, really easy to do. It looks great, gives a really nice finished appearance, and it really doesn't take very long at all to be able to create these layouts very, very quickly and easily. Once you have the letters in place, and then the vector outlines, the matching vector outlines, will be able to produce these logos very, very quickly going forward.